Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets at Money Control. Here we wrap up the day's trading action for you. I'm Rakshita Madan and joining me is Santosh Nair, editor Money Control. Hi Santosh.
Hi Rakshita.
So pretty much a day like yesterday for markets today also, very near still so far. So what can we expect?
Well, Rakshita, not surprising at one level because if you look at the macro indicators, all of them seem to project a rather dismal picture. You had disastrous first quarter GDP number a couple of weeks back, and now the IIP consumer retail inflation and also wholesale inflation numbers which have come in the last couple of days, and none of them hold any cheer. So clearly this is not a market about fundamentals anymore. It's purely liquidity that's driving stock prices higher. So some bit of caution on the part of traders is not really surprising. The good part though is that the Nifty managed to close about, it's still holding the 10,000 mark. It closed at about 10,086 today, and traders see 10,137 as the next key resistance. It's also the previous all-time high for the index. So once that is crossed, then probably you could see traders gaining confidence and going long on the market.
Right. OMC staged a recovery today despite the fact that the government has said they are not going to cut the excise duty. So what is happening on that front?
Rakshita, I think investors will be a little cautious on this space in the near term as long as crude prices are firm. Now, the oil minister has said that the government will not interfere with the daily revision of prices by oil marketing companies, but at the same time, the government has also made it clear that it will not cut excise duties. Now, that being the case, investors are bound to get a bit worried because if crude prices remain high, remember, fuel prices are also a very sticky political issue. So, in case prices continue to climb further, something has to give. And now, whether it will be the oil marketing companies or the government which will step back, one has to see. You saw some bit of action today in IOC, BPCL and HPCL. The stocks gained between 0.3 to 1%, but clearly the conviction seems to be missing.
Right. Before we go, let's take a quick look at what were the gainers and losers today.
So I think pharma is back in demand with investors. The sector has underperformed for quite a while, but in the last couple of sessions we have seen some renewed interest there. Sun Pharma is leading the charge. The stock rallied about 3% today also. It closed at 522 rupees. It had been moving in a range between 450 and 500 for quite some time now. Yesterday Credit Suisse upgraded the stock, so that's something that has improved sentiment for it. Other big gainers in the Nifty today, Cipla and Dr. Reddy, both stocks gaining about a couple of percentage points each. You saw some bit of buying interest in capital goods shares also, but by and large there was no clear trend in the market. The number of stocks that declined were higher than the number of stocks that rose today. Negative market breadth there, although mid-cap indices closed on a firm note. You saw a fair bit of action today in Thermax. The stock rallied 6% on news that it had bagged a $43 million order. Now, the order win in itself was not very large, but I think probably there's so much money in the system that buyers are just looking for an excuse to buy.
Right.
HEG and Graphite India, the other gainers, the stocks brokerage firm Jefferies has initiated coverage on both the stocks with a buy rating. So those stocks rose very sharply today.
All right, Santosh, thanks for that insight. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Markets at Money Control. For more news, views and updates, stay logged on to moneycontrol.com.